When it comes to harmonizing any song, there are really two methods. One is to learn the harmony part like its own melody and just get it down and sing it with the song. The other is to completely figure out the harmony part by ear and just come up with it on your own. And really what works the best is to find kind of a mixture of both of these. If you only know how to learn a harmony part, oftentimes if you need to change a note, then it's really easy to get off and not actually sing the right part and not know if you're singing it right, not being able to tune it well because your ear is not developed enough. And on the other side, if you only go by ear and if you only go by figuring out your harmony part, sometimes you might sing a harmony part that just doesn't match as well as maybe learning one that someone else already came up with. So I think it's good to kind of take these two things and work from both ends until we get to this middle of where you're just harmonizing freely and you're able to adjust and really your ear is tuned and you know how to stick to your own part. By the end of this video, I'm gonna share with you some very practical ways of improving your harmony singing depending on where you land in your skill set. Here are really the 5 things that I expect from a good harmony singer. One would be that they really have a good understanding of the melody and of the harmony of the song, the chords. And so this doesn't mean that the harmony singer has to be a theory guru and know how to dissect every little thing and understand exact music theory of how everything works. No, but they need to know how generally the melody is structured, be able to sing the melody and understand when it goes up, when it goes down, how it kind of works, because the harmonizing is all based off of the melody and you have to have a clear understanding of that. And also you have to have an open enough ear to be able to hear the chords and the harmony so that when you're singing your harmony part, it doesn't clash with the chords and instead it fits with the chords. So that's why you need to have an ear for that. Second, the harmony singer needs to be able to follow with the melody at an interval of a third or a fourth, either above the melody or below the melody. I often call this the upper harmony or the lower harmony. If you're kind of unclear what that is, in our harmony challenge, I have one of the challenges is knowing when to sing thirds and fourths and how to hear thirds and fourths. So you might want to check that out. Oftentimes you'll also hear the term SAT, soprano, alto, tenor, where you have a melody written as the soprano, and then you have the alto harmony as the one right below that, and then the tenor harmony right below that. So that's the terminology for harmonies. I've ended up with just going with upper harmony, lower harmony, because you never know what range the song is in. So it might not always fit with an alto or a tenor. The next thing I expect is for the harmony singer to be able to learn a harmony part and stick to it accurately and be able to tune with the rest of the people and just stay on their notes really. Then the fourth thing that I expect is that they actually have flexibility. Once they learn their part, they can actually know how to change a single note and not get completely thrown off. That they're able to visualize how changing a note works, and they can do that every time as well. And then the final thing that a good harmony singer really needs is the ability to get past all of the details of the notes and be able to open their ears to blend with the singers around them and really match how the singers are singing, blend in with them, phrase the words in the same way, and not just be stuck in your own lane. You have to really open your ears a lot and blend a lot. And in order to do that, you have to really get past all of the details of the harmony parts. So that's really it. Those are the things that I expect from a harmony singer. And so you can think to yourself like where you stand, what things you might need to get better at, but that's the ideal. Now I'm gonna lay out 2 different people, Amy and Brianna, and they're gonna have different skill sets and maybe you can identify with one or the other. And based on where you stand, I'm gonna give you specific advice. And so Amy, she is good at learning a part, maybe learning a harmony part like its own melody, and she's able to stick with it even when someone right next to her is singing the melody. It throws her off a little bit, but not too much. She's able to kind of find her way back and get back to the harmony even if she bobbles off for a little second. She's able to stick to it. But Amy just doesn't have the knowledge and experience of singing harmony parts a lot. She's used to just singing melody all the time, so she just doesn't have the exposure to harmony singing. So for Amy, I would suggest that she would just learn more harmony parts like their own melodies and just do the reps. Do it over and over, practice more times like that, and over time she'll get used to how the harmony parts work. And number 2, at the same time, I would advise that she also work on just freely harmonizing and coming up with parts, even if it means that she just sings a couple notes on a harmony and then she goes back to the melody, and then another couple notes on harmony and then back, just that she practice it. And over time, she's gonna get better at that and then better at learning the parts and hopefully make her way a little closer to the middle. At the same time, I recommend that Amy would also learn how to sing on numbers and work on different ear training so that it gives her ear context to know what she's singing. So to sing on numbers, sing these different exercises to understand the intervals. So like go through the harmony challenge and kind of figure out some of that stuff and just get used to it. And then finally, I would suggest for Amy to actually sing the harmony parts that she's learned on numbers. Every single note gets its own correct number. And that's where I think it's gonna be a little hard, but it'll help train her to be able to hear those harmony parts and distinguish which notes are which. And that'll help in future as she's singing harmonies. And now Brianna, on the other hand, she has struggles when she sings the melody and she has someone next to her singing a harmony part. It makes her kind of doubt that she's singing the melody correctly, and she even sways and makes her sing the melody off. Because she has a hard time sticking with her own melody even when someone else is harmonizing, it's not that she's hopeless. She can definitely make progress. I just would suggest going about it this way. I would suggest that maybe she work with someone else who has a stronger ear who can kind of help her. Maybe work with a teacher, or maybe in addition to that, join a choir possibly, because in a choir you have more people sitting around you usually who are singing the same part, and it's a little bit, you're not as exposed. So that could be helpful. Now after that, what you're gonna be working on for Brianna is she's gonna be working on just singing her melody and trying to get so that she just kind of ignores the person next to her singing on harmony and is able to stick to her melody. And over time, she'll improve and that will get easier. Once that gets easier, she can start to open her ear up to hear the person singing harmony and try to stick to her melody and not get swayed by it, but still become aware of it. And once she can do that, she'll just apply that to learning a harmony part. She'll learn the harmony part like its own melody and get it down so well that she can sing it in her sleep. And then she'll do the same process with the harmony part. Person next to her singing a melody, she puts the blindfolds on, she doesn't hear the person, just kind of ignores. And then later, when she gets used to that, she can start opening her ear and a little bit getting used to someone next to her singing a different part. And just keep doing that. Do the reps on that as well. At the same time, I advise that Brianna would work on singing on numbers, but doing simpler ear training as well. And so this might look like going to a piano and singing a vocal warm-up, a simple vocal warm-up, and just playing the note on the piano and then making sure that she matches that same note. And then sing a vocal warm-up and make sure that in the middle of the warm-up, she's matching the note perfectly as well. And so just continually drawing her ear to the piano and to matching notes. And then singing on different ear training exercises that go on numbers and scales, just stepwise notes and notes that are easy to hear, but starting to get the context of hearing the notes going up and down and singing on the numbers like this. And over time, her ear will develop and it'll get better. I do, however, recommend that someone like Brianna would take voice lessons and work on their technique, because I found that oftentimes it comes down to not using the voice in the best way, which is actually hindering from being able to sing these harmony parts. Because you can't really sing the harmony parts very well and accurately, and if your voice is not really working the best, if it's not on the breath, if it's not resonant, if it's not confident and projecting, it's hard to be timid and sing harmony parts. You really have to sing it confidently. And so working on your voice would be really helpful. We have a free vocal technique mini course you can check out in the description. I'll just link all the things in the description. The harmony challenge would be a great place to work on training your ear as well. And so I just recommend that wherever you stand, that you figure out and just work on that next step. If that next step is to take the harmony challenge, you can find it in the description. You can watch another video here. That's another one on how I recommend working on harmonies. I go in a little bit of a different direction, so you might want to check that one out there too.